Hello and welcome to the Leadership and Culture Bite. I'm Dr. Simeon Roger, and this is where we talk about how superbly trained visionary leaders create rapid innovation, killer teams, and the organization everyone wants to join. And today we're going to be talking about how your control issues may be killing your organization. It's a very delicate balance as a leader, this balance of trying to discover at what point do you have to be involved in the decision making process? Where is that important? When is that important? And when is it important not to be involved in the decision making process? Think of it this way: an organization is a system, an organic system. It's an organic system in which probably thousands of decisions are being made per day. Some of those will be big decisions, some medium, some small, some micro. That's all fine. But all these decisions are being made, and they're being made hopefully by your staff. And you have to let go at a certain point. We see an extraordinary example of this right now in the news where, as I'm recording this video, Russia is still invading Ukraine, and we see this 65-kilometer long Russian convoy from the Belarus border down to the Ukrainian capital of Kiev. And this convoy's been stuck over a week. And this is a prime example of Russian logistics. And what you may not know about Russian logistics is it is all top down. All the decisions are generated at the top. The bottom, the actual battalion tactical groups that execute the operations, they have very little say. And it's this typical of this unwillingness to devolve decision making. This same unwillingness to devolve decision making, by the way, that nearly cost them World War II. It nearly allowed Nazi Germany to defeat the Soviet Union because the Germans were really good at devolving decision making, and the Soviets would never let go. And it's the same flaw that we saw in the Soviet command economy, right? This top-down economy where everything was planned 5 years in advance within an inch of its life that led to the most ludicrous things. I remember seeing a video probably at the very end of the Soviet Union where there was a big field. On it were spread out farm combines. So these big farm machinery, hundreds of new combines fresh off the assembly line. The only problem was none of them worked. None of them had a fan belt because the factory that built them wasn't responsible for the fan belt. So the factory that built them was off the hook. They'd fulfilled the plan. Good for them. So this system led to enormous waste, enormous shortages, and finally it just collapsed under its own weight, generating ludicrous stories in the interim. And we have to ask ourselves then, well, what about the flip side? Why is it then that the free market works so well? Well, the free market works so well, of course, because if you think about it worldwide, trillions, probably hundreds of trillions or quadrillions of decisions are being made worldwide every year that affect the free market. But these decisions are being made organically by the 7.3 billion people on the planet or whatever it is. They're being made organically. And because of this, it works extremely well. Now, if you try to do what the Soviets did, which is interrupt this organic decision making and replace it with a human brain or a limited number of human brains, what do you get? Well, it's a recipe for a completely constipated economy or constipated organization, which is exactly what the Soviet Union turned into. But many individual organizations inflict this on themselves too. It's a huge problem. The same thing, this kind of control freak leadership that insists on being involved directly in all significant decision making. And when this happens, everything tends to slow to a crawl because the human brain has very little ability to process the amount of information that's required to intelligently and organically make these decisions. So instead of letting the system evolve organically, there are leaders that try to have a firm grip on everything, and in so doing, they just slow everything to a crawl. Even if this is just insisting on being able to approve, that's a big one, approve all significant decisions. And you might as well try taking your bicycle out for a spin after you've wrapped its chain in duct tape. It's pretty much the same thing. So you slow the organization to a crawl. If you have smart, well-trained, and dedicated people, the best thing you can do, absolutely the best thing, is let them do their jobs. Get out of their way. Your life will be so much easier. Your organization will be so much more effective. And just the whole thing will function as a well-oiled machine, but only if you take yourself out of that organic loop. and restrict yourself to making decisions that you actually have to make. So this is the whole and entire problem that we see, and we see it all the time. So if you don't want your organization to collapse under its own weight, if you don't want to compromise, therefore, your hiring process, especially your retention, kill morale, then simply let people do their jobs. It's wonderful. Try it. You'll like it. I'm Dr. Simeon Roger. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to keep an eye out for more content on how you can become a superbly trained leader and build an excellent organizational culture. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.